Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly Showcase Miami Market Update, where once a week we pick a different area, a different neighborhood, and we talk about the real estate, the residential real estate in that particular part of Miami. My name is Jason. Great to see you. Let's dive right into it. Today, we're going to be focusing on world famous Miami Beach condos in particular. And in just a moment, I will show you what is available in Miami Beach from highest to lowest. And we're going to take a quick peek. Do you see that, Zyrel, here over on the screen?
Yes.
Great. So here we have this is condominium in Miami Beach. The highest you can get right now that's available is this at the One Hotel and Residences on 24th Street. It's a penthouse, 4 bedrooms, 5.5 baths, 4,000 square feet. It's been on the market about 351 days. Beautiful unit. You can see the wraparound terrace. Amazing updates to the property. Corner unit facing south and east. One of the prime views right here. You see it's a 2-story penthouse unit. They're asking about $6,000 per square foot. This is the priciest offering that's currently available in Miami Beach to give you some perspective. It's a little bit further north from South Beach, which pretty much ends around 17th Street, which is Lincoln Road area. Then after 17th Street, as you go north, it becomes more mid-beach. So this here is on 24th Street. So the advantage is that you're not in in all of the action. You're a little bit removed, but you're very close. You can get there for the nightlife in a short Uber ride or even a long walk. It's about 7-block walk to world famous Lincoln Road, for instance. This is available. So that's the top end of the market. What is the lower end, the bottom end of the market? What's the least expensive you can get into Miami Beach condo? And here we have one on Euclid Avenue. This is South Beach proper. And this one, they're asking $179 for a studio, about 400 square feet. Walking distance to the beach from here in the heart of South Beach over there on Euclid. And the maintenance fee for this is, we look at the photo view, maintenance fee is $354 per month in this low-rise Art Deco building, and it comes furnished. Okay, so now we're going to take a quick peek at the trend graphics, which shows what is available in Miami. But in terms of, and before we do that, just a second, I'm going to ask Zyrel, before we dive into the market trends, if she could please share the screen and show us one of our listings that was recently had a price improvement. It's in the mid-beach area, and I'll tell you a bit more about this unit before. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you about it now. Basically, it's what they call Millionaires Row. It's 5700 Collins Avenue on the 16th floor. Beautiful condos that have been built in the last 50 years or so. This one has some water views to the east. It was completely remodeled. Again, this one, you walk across the street, you're at world famous Miami Beach on the sand with the waves washing up on the beach there from the shore. Great location. And you can get onto a bike ride or into an Uber to go to world famous South Beach, say 40 blocks away, Lincoln Road would be. So this is a great example of what you can get. This one is listed for $699, just reduced from $750. Turnkey, don't need to do a thing to this unit. The screen is yours, Zyrel. If you could show the video of this recently changed price on 5700 Collins, number 16B, like boy, for $699. there you have it. Thanks, Irel. Appreciate it. That one, amazing opportunity, 2 bedrooms, remodeled, and that one is available for $699. So now we're going to go into trend graphics. Basically, this will give us an idea. We're going to go first for the condos only. We're looking for today. Condos only, 0 to 500,000. What's that market looking like on South Beach? Or sorry, on Miami Beach, I'll tell you. Okay, so if you look at what is for sale versus what has sold, there are 482 units available in July, just recently passed. And then you had, so 482 units, and 87 went under contract that month. And we're looking here in Miami Beach, condo, 0 to 500,000. What was it last year? To compare apples to apples for last July, 488. So a similar amount of supply. We're pretty much dead on in the supply. You've actually got more pending sales now, 87 versus 75 last year. And you've got a few less closings. You have 70 closings versus 113 closings last July. So now one thing we can look at is the months of inventory. It's a really good indicator of if it's a seller or a buyer advantage. 6 months, as you have known from the previous videos that we've done, 6 months is considered a neutral market where neither the seller nor the buyer has the advantage. So we, for condos 0 to 500,000 on Miami Beach, there's 7 months of inventory, 6.9 to be exact. Slightly over 6 months, so slightly in favor of buyers, but it's pretty much a neutral market where prices are not going down or going up. What was it last year in July? It was 4.3 months of inventory. And how do you arrive at that number? You simply divide 488 divided by 113, and that will give you 4.3. And here in this case, if you divide 482 divided by 70 closings, that will give you 6.9. So that's where we see it was seller advantage in the middle of last year, seller advantage, and then we got to buyer advantage in November, buyer advantage in January, and then as we hit peak season for condo, there's peak season for condo. In my 22 years experience, it's always, say, January through April is the peak season for condo sales. People come for a second home, a pied-à-terre. Miami Beach is a natural place to have that type of property. So 3.7 months seller advantage in March. April, you had 4.7 months of inventory, still a seller advantage. 4.1 months of inventory, seller advantage in May. June even, 4.6 months. And then in July, which is the slower season, if you will, compared to January through April, you had less demand in those hotter months, 6.9 months, yet it's still pretty much neutral. So that's good for, it just shows you that it's a healthy market in 0 to 500,000 condos. There's a lot of demand. Now, if we go from 500 to $1 million as our next bracket, what does that offer us? So at a glance, 500 to $1 million, it's been a buyer's market, 8.7 months in July, buyer's market in June, neutral market in May, buyer's market in April, neutral market in March. And what are we seeing last year? We saw neutral market in 6.2 months in July, right after the interest rate increases were announced. It was 4 months prior to that in June, went up to 6.2. So 500 to $1 million, slight buyer advantage in the last 2 months. It was neutral in May, neutral in March. Let's see what we're seeing in terms of numbers of units on the market. So there's 321 units available between 500 and $1 million. Compared to last July, there were 305, so pretty much the same. 34 pending deals versus 41 pending deals now. So more activity now in terms of pending offers. And then 49 closings versus 37 closings. So pretty similar this July versus last July. If we look at it, 8.7 versus 6.2, slightly more of a buyer advantage this July. Average price per square foot in that 500 to $1 million category, it's been about in the 6s, low to high 6s the last few months. Okay. If we look on days on market in the 500 to $1 million range, the average days on market is 76, 86, 111, 150. gives you an idea each month what the days on market. The sales price to the original list price is 93%, 94%. So in the low to mid 90s, which is pretty typical, 94, 95, 93. That's what you can expect to pay on average based on the original list price of a property. If we go to average price for sale versus sold, that's another graph there, shows you what people are asking versus what they're selling for. Now we're going to go to a different price range. We're going to go from 1 million to 2 million. So 1 to 2 million for Miami Beach condos only, just to give you an idea. So we're seeing 12.5 months of inventory, latest data in July. So it's a buyer's market because it's over 6 months. 7.1 months in June, pretty much a neutral market, slightly in favor of the buyers. In May, we had 5.2 months, so slightly in favor of the sellers, 8.8. But in terms of trends, what is the apples to apples comparison? July now, 2023 versus July 2022. 12.5 months, buyer advantage versus last year in July, slight buyer advantage. So it's more in favor of buyers now this July. So what are we seeing in terms of the units available? There's 163 available in July versus July of last year. There was 140. So a little bit more inventory, not too much. There were 18 closings last July. Just now we had 13 closings. There were 15 pending sales about to close versus 15 pending this July. All right. What's the average per square foot looking like for Miami Beach condos between 1 and 2 million? It's in the 946 per square foot, 881 per square foot, 1,000 per square foot for March and April, which stands to reason because those are the peak seasons there, March, April, May. Now, if we look at days on market in the 1 to 2 million category, we're seeing 182 days on market in July. Again, stands to reason. It's not the busiest time of year. So in my opinion, if you're a contrarian, that's the time to consider buying condos on Miami Beach when there are the fewest buyers in town for this time of year in September, August type of thing. Now, if you look at June, 91 days on the market, 105 days on the market, what are they selling for? Sales price versus original list price, 88%, 91%, 90, 87. So as the price goes higher, we start to see a lower ratio as far as the sales price to original list price percentage. We look at what people are asking, 1,400 a square foot, what they're selling for, 1,360 per square foot, 1,354. You see a delta between these in some of these months, 1,426 per square foot versus 1,273 per square foot sold. All right. Now we are going to go to the 2 million to 3 million range. If for anyone in the market looking to sell or buy in a condo, 2 to 3 million on the beach. And okay, so we're looking here. Wow, now you see a big difference, right? Fewer buyers in that category of 2 to 3 million. Thus, you have 45 months of inventory, about 4 years worth of supply in the 2 to 3 million condo. So it's a definite buyer opportunity in the beach for condo, judging by this. What was it in, compare that to July of last year, still a buyer advantage last year because it's over 6 months, but that was 22 months, say 2-year supply versus now, which is a 4-year supply. So that shows a downward trend in prices for the $2 to $3 million Miami Beach condos. What was it in June? 15 months buyer advantage. May, 18 months buyer advantage. April, 30 months buyer advantage. March, peak season, at that point, it was about 13.8 months. So that gives you some good perspective on the 2 to 3 million. There are 91 units for sale in July just passed versus 67. So about a 25% increase in inventory. You had 7 consumed in July of 2022 between pendings and the closings. You have 6 consumed now. So the same amount of demand. The only difference is you've got more supply now this year. Average price per square foot in the 2 to 3 million, you're looking at 1,500, the 1,400 range is what you're seeing. 1,700 per square foot in peak season March that we had. What are we looking at? Days on market is 79 days on market, 128 days, 164 days on market. The sales price to original list price, you're looking at 89%, 88%, 91. So in the high 90s to, sorry, high 80s to low 90s. Now, if we look at average price for sale versus sold, definitely there's a delta there between what people are asking. $25, $2,500, I should say, per square foot for the available versus $2,300, 25 versus $2,389. So not that much of a delta, but you do see one. Always what people want versus what they actually sell for, which represents market value here in the red. And you've seen the months of inventory. Now we're going to go up to the next bracket, which is 3 to 5 million condos on Miami Beach. Okay, 3 to 5 million condos, Miami Beach. What does the months of supply look like? Okay, so interestingly, you see a lower months of inventory showing that there is more demand, or it's more of a healthy market for sellers and less of a buyer market, even though it is a buyer market, less of a buyer market than the 2 to 3 million range. So 12.5 months buyer advantage, 42 months of inventory in June, 3.5 year buyer advantage, 16 months of inventory in May, almost a neutral market back in March at peak season when the boat show's happening, the Coconut Grove Art Festival, that time of year, tennis tournaments, all those events that are here in town. That's when you have typically the least amount of inventory and the highest activity taking place. So let's see what that looked like in terms of units for sale. 75 available between 3 and 5 million just passed this in July. Compare that to July of last year, 62 available. 8 consumed last July versus 12 consumed. Again, so you still have the demand. It's actually going stronger than it was last year. The only difference is that there's more supply compared to last year. If we look at the average price per square foot from 3 to 5 million, you're looking at 1,500 per square foot, 2,000 per square foot, 1,588 per square foot for the sold units, right? 1,990. So let's say 1,500 to 2,000 is what you're seeing. If you look at the days on market in the 3 to 5 million range, naturally it takes more time to sell those higher priced condos. 251 days in July, just past 113 days, 142 days. What are they selling? How does that compare to last July? You saw 91 days. So the length of time on market has definitely increased. July of 22, where it was 98 days versus 251 days in July just passed. Now, if we look at average price for sale, you're seeing 4,000 per square foot. 4,000 per square foot is the average price for sales, what they're asking in that 3 to 5 million range. What have they been selling for? Here's one 39.42 per square foot, 37.03. Here's one that sold for 4,300 per square foot, 36.68 per square foot. So that concludes the 3 to 5 million. So now let's take a look at 5 million and above for condos on Miami Beach. All right, so 57 months. So that is a depreciating market. Prices are coming down. 57 months of inventory in July. So versus 14.5 months of inventory in June, 12.2 months of inventory in May. So yes, this could be an aberration because in terms of the buyers being here, purchasing $5 million plus homes, there's less of them here in July than they would be here in March, where there was only 7.3 months of inventory, almost a neutral market. And then again, you had 32 months, almost 2 to 3 years in April, about a year supply in May. How does that compare to last year? 57 months in July, 62 months in July of last year. So it's equivalent to last year. So it's interesting observation right there. How many units are for sale in that 5 to 10 million range? You're looking at 57 available now, just passed, versus 62 last year. So it's pretty similar. Consumption, you got 2 plus 1, you got 3. Here you have 2. It's a pretty similar demand. So that's where we are here. Let's look at price per square foot for the 5 to 10 million range. Asking the sold price, I should say, 1,600, about 2,000, 1,900. So the low 2000s is what we saw from February through to June, and then it dipped down to 1592 in July off season. Days on market in that 5 to 10 million range. Naturally, it's higher, 257 per days on market, 257. Here in peak season, it was less. It was 102 days on market, 97 days on market. And then sold price to original list price. Now you're seeing quite a dip here, 72% of asking price. Those two sales represented, they went for 72% of asking. Previous month, they went for 96% of asking, 90% of asking, 88% of asking. Average price per square foot for sale and sold. You can see the sold is in the red and the black. So you're seeing 5 to 10 million. They're asking about 7,000 per square foot. As we saw for that penthouse where we opened up this call, we showed you the 25 million unit at one hotel and residences on 24th Street. They were asking 6,000 per square foot. And that seems to be in line with what we're seeing here. What sold, what traded was 5,700 per square foot in July, 7,000 per square foot in June, 6,440 in May. So we are seeing those types of trades happening if people, for certain types of product. So there we are. That shows you what is happening in the 5 to 10 million market. Let's just do one more. We'll do 10 million and above in Miami Beach condo. There's 11 months of inventory, and I'm going to go to here to see how many there are. So there's 11 units for sale between 10 million and above in Miami Beach. The month before there were 17, 21 in May, 22, and pretty similar back in June, July, 25 months, 27 months of inventory. But there's less inventory now, interestingly, in July just passed. Months of inventory again, 11 months, 17 months. So it's a buyer's market. It was a seller's market in peak season. March just passed. And June of last year, you saw 4.2 months. It was a seller's market. Average price per square foot in that 10 million and above is 3,000, 3,500. They've been trading in the 3,000 to 4,000 range. Sales, not asking price, but actual sales. Days on market in that 10 million and above range has been over a year here, 444 days, 125 days, 300 days. What have they been selling for? Sales price versus original list price, 73%, 98% of list price. So wow, quite a difference between what they're asking, and they traded for 73% of asking price in July for how many units sold in July. We saw one sale take place in July in that 10 million and above range. So that's the update for this week, which is Miami Beach condo. If you have any questions, please feel free to text me or call me at the number above me right here for more information, or if you have any other information, any other neighborhoods you'd like to have us consider, we can do a customized process just like this for your neighborhood, anywhere in South Florida, any price point, condo, single family. And we appreciate you tuning in. I'll hand it back over to you, Zyrel.
Yes, thank you so much, Jason. And please, everyone, don't forget to like our video, subscribe to our channel, and click on the notification bell so you'll be updated of our next market update. Leave a comment below and tell us what Miami neighborhood you want us to feature next. Back to you, Jason.
Thank you, Zyrel. Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you next time. Take care. Bye.